Hey, it's Justin with a quick message here before we get to the episode. We've had lost episodes here at NoLaughTrack. Dan St. Germain, Carmen Electra. No, that would have been interesting. How about this? Dan St. Germain and Carmen Lynch. They were at Acme earlier this year. We recorded and we had audio problems, so no one's heard that one. I recorded with Dwight Slade last December. Audio problems then. And, of course, the first time with Mary Mack. 3 lost episodes. But we've been sitting on one that we did record, and we saved just for a week like this when I'm going to be out of town. Big week at Acme. Nick DiPaolo recorded his DVD Monday, Tuesday night, and then Rory Scovel heads to town, who I'm a big fan of. Love to talk to him on the podcast, but I'm going to be with my A job on the KQ Morning Show in, got to go to Las Vegas, guys. I'm sorry. It's the 1 week a year I had out of town, so unfortunately can't record. But in its place, the episode we've been sitting on, one of my favorites because I love this guy, Jimmy Pardo. Enjoy. All right, hey, here we go. Let's start right now. Episode number 59. 59, NoLaughTrack, Acme's podcast. Thanks to the guys in Circle of Heat for letting us play their music there. Jimmy, did you like that?
I loved it. I think they're a terrific orchestra, and I wish them the best of luck as I do all bands.
Yes, thank you. That was my guest, Jimmy Pardo. I'm Justin Severson, and here we go.
Now, this Circle of Heat, how many guys are in this outfit?
I'd like to give you an answer to that that's...
Because they sound very full.
Yeah, like a circle. I don't know how many guys take a circle.
Six is like a circle.
Probably.
4 would be a square.
4 would be a square.
In Square Circle would be a Stevie Wonder album.
Really?
Yeah, I believe that was the one that Part-Time Lover was on.
I like to catch I like to take pride in catching all your music references, but Stevie Wonder's a little over my head.
What do you mean? Why is it over your head?
I don't know. I only know a couple songs.
Well, you know Part-Time Lover.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't escape that song.
My favorite is Sir Duke. Your thoughts?
You know what? I got no problem with Sir Duke. Mine is You Haven't Done Nothing. You haven't done nothing.
I like that one.
His version's slightly better than what I just mangled, but yeah. I like about a handful of Stevie Wonder songs. Then there's a lot that I like. When he comes and does a concert in Los Angeles, I always go, you know, it'd be great, go see Stevie Wonder. You know, he's a guy I've never seen.
Yeah.
And then I go online and look at his set list and I go, we're good. I don't have to go see that. It's like he goes out of his way to like not want people to enjoy themselves. Like Prince, same deal, man.
Yeah.
You go see a Prince set list, it's like you self-indulgent jackass.
And then when he does the hits, it's the medley.
It's a medley. Does a medley. Does Darling Nikki, and he does like just the riff, and you go, here we go, and then
the one I like,
right into your Cream.
I had that Purple Rain album when I was a kid.
Yes,
and had to
when I was a kid.
Well, 10. What did it come out? 83, 84?
84.
Yeah, okay. I was 10. 10.
Oh.
There we do it.
What was I then? 84. I was 18.
Okay.
Didn't know what I want. I'm 18.
That's 18.
Little scooper.
There we go.
So go ahead. You were 10 years old.
I had to hide I could only listen to certain songs when mom and dad weren't around.
When Doves Cry.
Fine.
Purple Rain itself probably fine.
Acceptable.
Let me ask you a question about Purple Rain. Would you put that guitar solo in the top 5 guitar solos of all time? And if you don't, rethink your list.
6.
It comes in at 6.
I think so. I don't know what the top 5 are, but
it's interesting.
There's got to be.
I think it's Prince. I think it's top 5. That is that guitar solo is phenomenal.
It is good.
Yeah.
I could never listen to little Darling Nikki.
Darling Nikki. That's not to cry. Man, I worked at the record store when that album came out, and man, we played that nonstop, and everybody came in. It was awesome. It was a great time. That was a great time to be in the record business. But it was neat seeing something sell. So. That?
Was that one of the albums that got you some tail?
Did I get a little action in the back room because of that album? No, it was mostly Tiffany's. Tiffany's cassette would get me the tail.
Yeah, cassettes.
In the back. And Def Leppard. Def Leppard was a big one that would help out in that regard.
Hysteria.
I think it was Hysteria, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I fired a kid one day at the record store because of the Hysteria album. It was the day it came out. And he was out on the floor. And I was up on a ladder doing a display. I was the assistant manager. Mm-hmm. I had no power to hire or fire, but I was up on a ladder doing a display. And some guy came in, and he was standing at the cash register while Eddie whose last name I will not say, I remember it, oddly enough. It just came to me. Eddie was just walking around the floor, and the guy looks over at him and goes, hey. And Eddie just said, rocks, doesn't it, dude? And I went, I think he wants to check out, Ed. And then he wanders over and checks the guy out. And I went, you know what? You're done here. And I fired him. And then he walked around the mall and waited until the manager came in at 1 o'clock and got his job back.
What?
Yeah, I didn't have the power to fire him.
No power.
No, I had no power to fire him.
No. Was that awkward when he came back?
Very, very. I ended up having sex with his sister.
Hey,
that's a true statement. And he chased me to my car.
Oh, he
when
knows.
He realized it was me in her bedroom. That's a true story. Yeah. Eddie. I won't give the girl's name because that's giving away too much.
Not even first or last.
Of hers? No.
No. Fair enough.
No.
So that would have been that was the early 80s.
That was 84, yeah.
Yeah. Right about, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High had been out already.
Yeah.
Any similarities? You know that movie.
Any similarities to what?
To, when they work at the mall in that movie.
I masturbated in a bathroom. So I have that similarity.
Doesn't anybody fucking knock?
Yeah. By the way, there was a time. In fact, I wonder if my dad still knows. That was my dad's favorite movie quote for a while.
Yeah.
Like he thought it was the greatest line in a movie. I think my dad's probably changed where he doesn't like that line anymore.
Do you think?
He's gotten older, certainly. We all get older.
But in that movie, they all, it's...
yeah, they all work in a mall.
And they all, and it's the, you check out the babes at the pizza place and the...
Yeah, we would do, yeah, it was that. That was, as I've said over and over on my show, on my podcast, the award-winning podcast, Never Not Funny, to be managing or even assistant managing a record store in the mid-'80s, and I imagine even in the late 70s, early 80s, probably died around the late 80s, but that was you were the coolest guy in the mall, man. You were managing, you were the guy at a record. Even dorky me with my stray cat haircut and my my Miami Vice jacket.
Nice.
I was it was a great.
Speaking of that, you've dropped the suits on stage. It's been how long has it been? Since
it's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
I was working in Lexington, Kentucky with Matt Fugate, who I'm working here with this
Fugate.
week. Asian kid.
That's right.
He my luggage didn't get there, so I went on stage in just the T-shirt and jeans that I was wearing on the plane. And for whatever, it felt like a snow day, like a school, like I didn't have to give, like it didn't feel like a show, and it was the best show I had in years. And I went, "That's it, suits are out." And from that day on, don't wear the suits anymore.
And now your kid's wearing them.
He wears a little suit. I wear. He actually doesn't wear a suit. I don't want to give away any secrets, but he hates them. If his pants have a snap or a zipper, it's a fit.
Right.
But I wear a suit every day at Conan. I wear a suit at work.
Oh, you do?
So then when I get up here, it's just more comfortable to, on a comedy club stage to wear the sweater and the T-shirt. I may have just bored myself.
Let's talk about Conan.
Okay.
I was talking to Matt Fugate just about half an hour, 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It
probably doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No. This sounds like it might be a 25-minute-year-old story.
I spoke with a person.
Year-old story?
I spoke with a person. Here's the really fast version. I spoke with a person that also watched you freaking co-host last.
Yeah.
I was happy for you.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Wasn't that neat?
Neat.
It was.
I'm trying to lose the word neat out of my
really?
vocabulary. Yeah.
What if something is neat?
I always feel like it's a dead end if you call something neat.
But what if it's a nice pile of clothes? Right? Isn't that's neat?
That is
and
neat.
Tidy.
Fine.
It was
When did they ask you?
I ended up doing it Tuesday, Wednesday, the Thursday before. I got a phone call. I was actually on the phone with my friend Matt Belknap, and I saw that Mike Sweeney, head writer, was calling in, and that doesn't happen unless they need me to come early to be in a sketch or something. So I saw it was him. I was like, oh, I go, hang on, Matt. I think I have to go in and do a sketch or something, because that's the only reason I ever get called from the show early. And it was Mike Sweeney, and he was doing a bit about how because I've been working for them since June of 2009.
Yeah.
And he said, look, Jimmy, the 4-year trial period is over. It's not working out. We're going to get rid of you.
Perfect.
It's awkward that we're doing. And so, by the way, so committed to the bit that while I was 100% sure he was kidding, somehow there was still 10% more going, wait a minute, am I getting fired? What's going on? And then he goes, all right, end of bit. Here's the deal. Andy needs to miss a few days next week. Do you want to co-host with Conan? And I went, what? He goes, oh, by the way, this is not a bit. This is real.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, of course. What are you taught? Yes. And then I came in that day, and Conan said, hey, did you talk to Sweeney? And I said, I did. He goes, it's going to be great. And it was like, okay, here we go. And then there we went. And then we thought it was going to be 3 days, and sadly for me, it was only 2. Andy's gig, whatever he was doing, only took 2 days instead of 3.
Yeah.
But it was, it was just amazing.
Did you practice?
Did I practice doing what?
The announcing at the
Yes.
beginning?
Did I practice at home?
Yeah.
No comment. Did I practice at the studio? Yes, because it's interesting. Unbeknownst to me, I did not know that in the headphones, you get directed on when to announce.
Okay.
So as you're reading, I just assumed there was like one announce saying, announce. Coming to you from Warner Brothers Studios, it's Conan. So it's that, and then announce tonight.
The whole thing?
Howie Mandel, announce. Also, so it was like, what? So I'm so glad that I rehearsed it because I just assumed that Andy read it off the screen.
Is it just to wait for the applause, or
I honestly don't know, and I'm sure Andy is in such a rhythm of it, like it doesn't even probably affect his life. But I would have been more comfortable just reading it off the screens.
Yeah. And
when I saw the name, say, tonight, Howie Mandel, next guy, musical act. Like, I would have been fine just reading it, but announce. I was like, what the fuck?
Did they have you, did you warm up the crowd that night,
I
too?
did.
Yeah.
I did. I think, and I think it was smart. That's what Ed McMahon used to do. Ed McMahon would go out and warm up the crowd, and then he was the announcer.
The whole time?
Johnny. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, not the whole time, because then Ray Combs ended up being the opening act or the warm up for a while for Johnny. Family Feud.
The Family Feud?
Yes, that's how he was discovered. He was he was doing warm up all over Los Angeles. I actually saw him do a warm up for a TV show starring Corey Haim and the guy that plays Paulie in Rocky, Burt Young. They had a TV show called Roomies.
Oh yeah,
remember that show?
All 2 episodes.
It was horrible.
Yeah. Wait, wasn't it Corey Feldman?
No, it was Corey Haim.
Was it?
Because my buddy was Corey Haim's. Because Corey Haim was underage, he had to have an adult adult supervision.
Oh,
and my buddy was that on the set. So we would go to the set of Roomies a lot.
Yeah.
And Ray Combs was the warm up comic, and at the time was the funniest comic I'd ever seen. He was, unbeknownst to me, he was doing the same show every night.
Yeah.
I know that now as the job that I have, you hit the same beats. But I thought Ray was phenomenal, so it was no surprise at all that when then Johnny had him on the show and he got a standing ovation, and Johnny called him over to the couch, and then from there, boom, he at the time was the highest paid game show host of all time. And
really,
yeah. And he's since passed away.
Oh yeah, long since passed. Yeah,
but yeah. So to answer your question, I did the warm up, which was they said you can either do warm up or you don't have to, and I was like, no. I think it's better that I do the warm up so that the audience could see that I'm funny and they see that that I'm the right guy for this. Yeah. And they went, "Go, good."
Who's this outsider?
Exactly. What do you want? And then they agreed. They were like, "Oh, we're so glad you said that because that's what we want. We want you to do the warm up and get them on your side." And here you go.
Did they give you any other coaching?
No. What? Conan called me and just said, "Let's just have the same relationship we have backstage."
Yeah.
Where we just bust each other's balls.
Sure. And he's been on your show. He's
been on my podcast twice, and then he was on Podcastathon once, and he and I have a great relationship. We have fun backstage. We're just and he treats me with so much respect. A lot of warm-ups don't get treated with that kind of respect.
Yeah.
And it's obvious when they ask you to fill in for Andy that they don't just see you as.
What have they done in the past when that's happened?
It's never happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
When Andy left, Conan just did the show by himself.
And how Conan's 6'4"?
6'4", 6'5".
Yeah. I was. We stepped outside for a little bit right after the show tonight, and I love overhearing people's comments about the show. Mm-hmm. One guy. He's tiny.
Yeah, fuck you.
And he goes, and here was his explanation to his friends. I looked up some videos of Pardo on YouTube today, and I saw one where he's standing next to Conan, and he's tiny. Who isn't standing next to Conan?
Well, you know what's interesting? That clip. that clip. Speaking of, Conan is also on a stage, so he's another 7 inches higher. Yeah. So it's 7 plus 6'4".
Yeah.
So and then I come out and I'm on the flight. So I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And I literally look like I'm it looks like a CGI'd. Like that's how tiny I look. So I'm no longer mad at that guy. But it does because it does. It's like. And they always show that clip. Whenever they show something, they always show the clip of me and Conan, or a photograph of me and Conan shaking hands. Like, I look like a tiny CGI elf. It's horrible. So, yes.
Get him a step stool.
Get me one? Or he doesn't need one. He's already tall enough.
No, you.
All right, me.
I'm sorry.
I didn't understand what you meant.
I'm sorry.
I understood. I went the other way for humor. That's debatable.
Teach me, wise one.
I'm mocking myself. I've got my phone here on the off chance something happens at 1 o'clock in the morning, showbiz-wise.
That's going to happen.
I don't know why I have my phone there.
But in California, it's
11 o'clock, which means nothing's happened.
Oh, nothing's happened.
It's a Friday, baby. They're all home. They're loose.
Loosey-goosey. You said on stage tonight, and also I looked on your website, you're just barely on the road anymore.
Hardly ever. 1 weekend a month at the most.
At the most.
That seems like enough for everybody.
Do you must miss going on the road?
No. No, as I echo.
Did you hear that? I think a pipe's going to burst.
The entire pipe is going to come down. Honest, no. 1 weekend a month is best for everybody.
Yeah.
I enjoy it when I come out. I don't resent being there. I enjoy the time on stage, and then I get to go home and be with my family and go to work. If I was still on the road every week or even 2 or 3 weeks out of the month, it wouldn't be fun anymore.
Do you squeeze in a week when Conan's off?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about one. Yeah. Well, we weren't off this week, but I still went on the road. But yeah, about 1 week in a month.
Seems about enough.
Plenty for me. And for them, and for the audience. If I was still, even if I had to do a fifth, like I'm only doing 4 shows here.
Yeah.
If I had to do a 5th show, that 5th one would not be that great. It wouldn't be. I would be bored with my own voice, and I wouldn't be like. And then I would say, and then I'm jumping around. I would get my own head about because I try to be in the moment as much as possible.
Yeah.
Even if that means pulling stuff out of the bag, like jokes, that I don't use every night. And then like by the 5th show, I'll be like, in my head, don't use that one. You use that one Friday and. So it's like I start thinking too much about that and not realizing, but none of these people were there Friday.
Right.
You jackass. You could have just done this. But I like to keep it fresh for myself. And so by the 5th show, I'd be bored out of my mind.
Since we're talking about the shows, and we're here at Acme. This is Acme's podcast. Do you remember the first time you were here?
I do.
How did that happen?
How did that happen?
And how was it?
I had worked another place in town that I don't think it may still be open, but Williams Cabaret. In Uptown, is that an area?
Yeah.
Uptown?
Williams is like what do they call that? The Peanut Bar.
Yeah, it was that. It's that place.
Okay.
They had a back room that did comedy. And I think it was like a Tuesday through whatever.
Wow.
And a woman named Becky Johnson booked it. And she had booked some one-nighters around Minnesota and the Dakotas and stuff. And I worked for her, those just one-nighter bar gigs. Driving 8 hours a night or a day to get to each one and then going up and bombing. So she got good reports back from all of these clubs. This has to be 19. Well, this club's been open, 20 years?
Yeah, a little over.
Oh, wait, when were the Twins in the first 91? Is that when they were in the World Series?
87.
So what was the next one?
87, 91.
It was 91.
Yeah. I
worked in 1991 because I remember my shows were battling the World Series.
Oh, I bet those were good.
Yes, or at least the playoffs.
Yeah,
but it was 91, and I was headlining. No business headlining. Should not have been headlining. A guy named Tony Boswell, who's a great friend of mine, was the feature act, and this is a very famous Jimmy Pardo story.
Yeah,
it's not. but I told it. It's the night where we went shopping during the day, and I bought new shoes, new gym shoes. And then when Tony and I went to leave for the show, he said, "Hey, how come you're not wearing your new shoes?" And I said, "I don't want to wear new shoes. It's uncomfortable." And he said, "Put your new. Nobody's going to care." And I walked on stage, and so the guy goes, "Hey, nice shoes." And I went, "These are my stage shoes, sir." And for whatever reason, the crowd hated me. They hated me because I was wearing new shoes. And I walked off, and I was like, "Fuck you for making me wear those shoes." And and he's like, "Yeah, I had no idea." He goes, "Why did they turn on you? Because you had shoes?" I go, "I don't know." But they did. They turned on me. Anyhow, I worked that club. Becky Johnson was the booker. I had a really rough week. It was tough. I should not have been headlining. And then about a year later or 6 months later, she took over booking this place. Or wait, this place opened what, 93?
Before that, I think.
Well, whenever she took it over, she called me up and she said, I love the book at Acme. I'm booking there now. Her husband was the house MC, Gary Johnson. But I can't headline you there. Will you come in middle? And yes, because that's what I should be doing.
Okay.
And then I came in, and I forget, Alan Prophet might have been the headliner.
Wow.
A guy named Alan Prophet, who was a really funny guy. I worked here once with a guy named Lee Allen. And then I worked a third time as the feature. And then I started headlining. So
what year did you stop featuring?
It had to be, well, I moved to LA in 95, and I didn't feature any club after 95. So it had to be, right around there.
I don't know why I just thought of this. I just, from listening to your podcast, I knew that you appeared on an episode of that 70s show. Mm-hmm. I just finally saw that clip.
Yeah, that's online if you want to see it.
Wow.
Me in a Henry Winkler wig. I look like Henry Winkler.
The suit really doesn't fit well.
No, well, it's not supposed to. It's the 70s.
You're the radio station
manager.
Yeah.
The chatter at the time was that I believe Howard Hessman was the radio station manager, and Howard was renegotiating his contract and was not going to be, may or may not have been returning. So when I auditioned, the cast director told me they really like you. They really thought you were funny, and there's talk of you, of being a recurring character. And like, here we go. This is here. Here's the sitcom career. And then when I was there, Topher Grace could not have been nicer to me. And he's like, dude, you're doing. They love you, man. You're probably going to be back next week. And you're going to be. They're talking about making you recurring. And it's like, Topher's saying it. And then Howard Hessman agreed to, or whoever it was, or Tommy Chong. I forget who it was. They agreed and. They never needed me to come back, but that was a great set for this reason. The kids weren't necessarily all that friendly. They weren't all that, Ashton Kutcher and Laura Prepon ended up being very pleasant. Topher was very, very nice. But all the Wilmer, Valderrama, whatever, they all were in their own world.
Okay.
They were all they're all rich 22-year-olds,
Yeah.
But they were. This is unfair to say, but this is the word other people use. They said, all the kids on the show are spoiled. They will only work 3 days a week. So it was great to get paid for a full week, and you only had to be there for 3 days. And one of them was like, you don't even have to be there. Your stand-in did all the work because it was for lighting and camera.
Oh, yeah.
So
nice.
I just sat in a trailer for an entire day. So
I know you're
2 days.
You're a big. I've heard you talk about TV shows that you like. Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
you still keeping up with that?
Well, I mean, it hasn't been on, but when it comes back on, sure.
Well, I say it like that because I finally just started watching it in the last year.
And did you catch up on all of it?
All of it.
Yeah, right.
Pumped. Super pumped.
I know.
But you brought up Laura Prepon. Are you watching? Are you watching the new show she's on?
No.
Orange is the New Black.
I hear it's very good.
It is. It's on Netflix.
I will watch it. We have Netflix on there, on my television.
I'm going to recommend. My girlfriend and I through 5 episodes.
All right,
thumbs up.
I think Matt Belknap, my friends, watched them all already and thought they were said it was great.
Okay. Season 13, Never Not Funny, just started. Correct.
Yes. Are we done talking about Netflix?
Yeah, I think so. Right. Did you have something else? No, that was it.
We watched Arrested Development on Netflix.
All of them?
Yeah.
When did you think it got good from the first one?
Pardon?
Some people criticized that it wasn't funny at first.
At first?
What does that mean?
I thought it was a little hit and miss.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've got a lot of friends involved in that program, so I will say I enjoyed it.
You watched all of them?
We did. My wife and I watched all of them. Did you watch all of them?
I haven't.
You haven't watched it?
I haven't had time. I'm going to. I love Arrested Development.
Yes, we all do. We all do. America couldn't wait for this to come back.
Why am I feeling guilty right now?
Facebook was a buzz about how it's going to be released. And then people stopped talking about it very quickly.
Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. It's kind of how I feel.
I don't know why I brought this up. This is my fault. We enjoyed it. I thought Andy Richter was very funny on there. I thought that, Jason Bateman was terrific. I thought Michael Cera was great. I thought the girl who played Maybe was great. I thought it was all great. I thought everybody was great.
Maybe.
I thought everybody was great. I did. I really believe. I believe everybody was great. It's my own fault.
How often?
Yes, question here.
I have a question. Mm-hmm. Like a professional interviewer.
I'm
here.
feeling it. Yes.
I'm being a host right now.
Do, sir. Go.
Pardo Patrol.
Yeah.
Love those.
Thank you.
One a week, 2 a week. How do those?
Haven't done one in a year.
What the hell?
Yeah,
Why?
The last one was Justin Verlander, the Detroit Tigers pitcher. That's the last one.
I watched that one.
But it was a year ago.
Why? What happened?
I was contracted to do 20, and I think we did a lot more than that. And they just stopped. The internet, the Team Coco went started doing other things.
On stage tonight, you said it was it really ad-libbed with Tom Hanks?
Oh yeah, all those were ad-libbed. Everything was improvised. You know, I the only thing on the ones where I do word association, which I did do with Tom Hanks.
That was really good.
I would just make up words 10 seconds before I went in there and just wrote down 8 words, always escalating to insulting the person. Mm-hmm. And so no matter who I was talking to, it was like something, and then all of a sudden it would make the turn on, oh, this guy's making fun of me. And then they would in turn get mad at me, and I would get irate at them for getting mad at me.
Tom Hanks played along as well as anyone could.
You know, that was one of the greatest as a comic / actor wannabe. That day was phenomenal for this reason. I went to work, and we would ask people to do the Pardo Patrols, and not most of the time, a lot of time, their representation would say no, and then the person would go, "Well, I would have done that. I don't know why my person said no." Well, we didn't even ask Tom Hanks. It's Tom Hanks. You know what I mean? There's, guys are my favorite. Philadelphia is one of my favorite movies of all time, and he's got 2 Oscars and just amazingly funny.
Right.
And so it was like, well, I'm not even asking Tom Hanks if he'll do it. So we didn't bother. So I'm on stage doing the warm up, and I came off, and the guy that runs the TeamCoco.com, Aaron, he came over and he goes, "Tom Hanks wants to do a Pardo Patrol." I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, Tom Hanks got here and said, hey, I want to do one of those web things with that guy." He goes, "I like those. He goes, "I want to do one."
That guy.
And it was like, are you kidding? He can call me whatever he wants.
Right.
Tom Hanks wants to do this stupid thing I do for the internet with me. It's like he's asking.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's the greatest, other than the phone call of, "Do you want to co-host with Conan?" I mean, hey, Tom Hanks wants to do improv with you. Done.
Yeah.
I mean, as a kid watching Bosom Buddies, it doesn't get better than that.
Right.
It was the greatest.
Right.
So, and then for him to be so much fun and to be, to be that, play that, I forgot how to end my sentence.
And you pitched to Justin Verlander.
I did. That was awesome. What I found funny about that is I said, hey, I think it'd be really funny if I tried to hit a 100-mile-an-hour wiffle ball. And he said, I can't pitch. It's the off season. And if I throw a ball and throw my arm out, they could void my contract.
Oh, yeah.
And I jokingly said, well, then what about if I pitch to you? And he goes, oh, I can do that. Which I think is insane because he's a pitcher.
Yeah.
And so he does this a lot. He throws a lot.
Yeah.
He doesn't bat ever.
No.
So he would possibly strain a muscle more easily.
Yeah, good point.
Batting.
Yeah.
But then he goes, wait a minute, let me check with my people. And the people go, oh, yeah, he can bat. What? So, I ended up pitching for Justin Verlander, and that was awesome.
Tonight at the club, they were doing the funniest. There was some, 2 people came up part of the funniest person in the Twin Cities competition.
How'd you like to be the guy that didn't win the night?
You mean one of 2?
2 people.
The one of 2 that didn't win?
The one of 2 that didn't. One guy wins, one guy doesn't.
What do you call that? Second place, first runner-up?
You know what I call that? Hey, you both won. Because I think it's crazy for one guy to just feel like crap. It's like because they both did well.
He doesn't know if he finished way in second place or just right there.
Like, I guess I wasn't here when they announced it. At least lie and go, it was the closest vote we've ever had by 1 point, even if it wasn't. Because I think they both were good, but it's like, that's awful. When there's 4 or 5, okay, great, I didn't win. But when there's 2 of you...
Did you ever do competitions like that? In the
only
early
competition
days?
I did 2 competitions. One was to in 1991 again, or maybe 92. I did a contest to be I forget what it's called, but the winner got to go on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno right after he took over the Tonight Show. So it must have been 92.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I did okay. I don't think I.
Who was the winner that you're bitter towards?
No, I'm not bitter towards anybody. The big winner ended up being John Henton.
No,
he went on to be in that TV show with the girl that played Tootie, whose name I cannot.
Kim Fields.
Kim Fields. Remember that show with Kim Fields? They were all roommates.
Living Single.
He went on to be. He was on that. He was a regular on that show.
Okay,
and he went on the Tonight Show and destroyed. So it's like. I was still pretty. I mean, I was only doing comedy like 2.5, 3 years at that point, and he'd been doing it 10. So it's like I'm competing against these guys that are.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't have a chance.
Yeah,
but you don't know. Here I come. I'm doing a contest. So I did that one. I did the Johnny Walker, which was a huge contest back in the day. That's the one John Henton won. I forget who won the Tonight Show one, because John Henton that one you got to go on with Johnny Carson, and John Henton won, and Johnny called him over. And gave him the okay and called him over. And then the next day, John Henton was a star. I forget who won. No, a guy named Hank McGill out of Indianapolis won the other one, and he has since passed away. He was a great guy. He won that contest. Got to go on with Jay, and then I did the. I went on Last Comic Standing once in 2004, and that was a mistake. That was an error. Shouldn't have done that.
They showed you on television.
It was horrible.
Briefly.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. I wish they would have cut me out.
Yeah.
The producer was a friend of mine, and she thought she was doing me a favor by leaving me in, and they left me in a lot.
Yeah.
It was one of those deals like, hey, Jimmy, we're going to don't spotlight me.
They even showed you kind of the, am I going to make it? Am I not going to make it?
Yeah, and you know what? The big scan there is, we did all those as pickups. Okay, guys, now everybody look nervous.
Right.
We're getting your close-ups. Everybody looked nervous. And truth be told, I destroyed that night. I admittedly, at those other 2 contests, I did not do very well at all.
Mm-hmm.
This night, I destroyed that room. Man, I just destroyed. And so I was feeling, when we're doing these pickups, look nervous. I was a little cocky. In my head, it was like, well, I'm obviously going to be one of the ones that move on, and so I was really looking nervous. Nervous. Oh, I'll give you your camera shots.
Yeah,
I'll look nervous.
I'll ham it up.
I'll look tense.
Yeah,
and then so I look like this buffoon who's stressing out of his mind, and then I don't win, and I look like I literally was stressing. Like, it was awful. The whole thing was awful, and then the whole night was a nightmare. And then I had to relive it 3 months later when they aired it, and getting emails from a-holes. How does it feel to lose to a girl doing comedy for the first time?
Well,
not good, sir. Thank you for asking. Appreciate you reminding me of that.
Ouch.
Yeah, I did not care for that experience.
Is it really it's your birthday? Like in less than 24 hours?
Something hours? Yeah, July 28th.
Yeah.
Is my birthday. Yes, sir.
Big plans?
I'm going to fly home. You know what? Matt Fugate just told me, you know where I was last year for my birthday?
Here?
Here.
Oh.
On this stage.
Oh.
Isn't that weird? July 28th was a Saturday last year.
Makes sense.
I think it's crazy that I'm here exactly 1 year later. I find that fascinating.
I'll see you next July?
No, I'm not coming back.
No,
The point is this. I just didn't know. I thought it was craziness the same weekend.
No big plans?
We're going to go miniature golfing with my family. I'm going to go miniature golfing with my family.
Does your son, Oliver?
Yes.
He likes mini golf? Does he get it?
He likes miniature golf for 12 holes. Loves it for 12 holes. And like on the 13th, it's done. Like just doesn't care.
Yeah. Now I'm curious. Does he get what Daddy does for a living? And that You work on the TV show, the podcast.
He comes and watches Conan every now and then. Like, he'll sit and watch me do my stuff and watch me on stage, and he laughs. And I don't know if he gets the jokes, but like, although last time when I do the show, I come out and I welcome everybody, and then I have to introduce a fireman to come out and give the safety. Here are your exits in the event of an emergency. Here's what you do. Blah 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 blah. They were having me do it, but they did not care for the way that I jokingly gave those.
As you're describing that, I'm like, I can't imagine you.
Yeah, I used to do it. I would talk about, if there's a fire, leave in orderly fashion, because that's going to happen, right? Like, we're not all just going to run for the exits, right? Trample each other like the Who in Ohio. And I said, or if there's an earthquake, you're supposed to get underneath your seat, because I think if you look above you, if there's an earthquake, we're dead.
Right.
And I would make, because there's all these huge lights above them. Yep. And the fire marshal came over to me and he said, hey, they need those. We need that to be serious. You can't make jokes about that. That's the one thing. And I said, yeah, but they get the point. And he's like, well, we're going to have to agree to disagree. And the next day, a fireman was there to give the announcement.
Does he do it in uniform?
Yeah. And they're great guys. And they hate doing it. Yeah. So they come out, and then I just tease them a little bit. But this one day, Oliver was there with me. So I welcomed everybody, brought out the firemen, and then I went over to Oliver, who was just at a talent show where he danced to Make 'Em Laugh from Singing in the Rain. And I said, jokingly, so Oliver, I'm going to go back out, and then Daddy's going to call you out, and you'll do your dance from Singing in the Rain. And he goes, okay. And I was like, what? And he goes, no, I'm not going to. But like when he said okay, it was like, oh no, not because I can't really do that. I can't really be hey everybody, here's my kid. Then he does a little soft shoe, and the audience wonders why it's happening at a live television taping.
Everybody humor him.
Right, humor my child. Look at me being an asshole bringing his kid out on stage. Yeah. So when he said okay, I went into a panic, because then I couldn't tell him no, because I said I'm going to bring you out, and then he says, oh, great, and I go, no, I'm kidding. You can't do that. So thank God he flipped and said no, because that would have been horrible.
Even he had the common sense.
Thank God. Thank heavens. Thank heavens.
I have.
Yes,
I did your name. This is something I'd like to do when a week leading up to the podcast. I put my guest name in Amazon and see what sort of products come up, whether it's DVDs, singles, movies.
Can I guess what came up?
Go ahead.
Am I allowed to do that?
Yes, please.
On Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
The Godfather of Green Bay.
Thank you. What is that? And should I buy it for $9.83?
Sure.
On DVD.
It is a terrific independent film that my friend Pete Schwaba, who now lives in Los Angeles. I don't know why I had to clarify that. But I knew him in Chicago. In fact, he and I were in one of those contests together. Great comic. He and his partner, he and his writing partner wrote A Guy Thing that Jason Lee was the star of. They wrote that movie, and they had that made, and then Pete had this film financed, The Godfather of Green Bay, and he shot it up in Marinette, Wisconsin. That was supposed to be Green Bay, and he shot it up in Marinette. And I played a cocky, very successful comedian, and I answered the door in nothing but my underpants.
Nice,
and because I've got a chick in my room. And
hey.
I make fun of these guys, and I do some bad stand-up comedy on stage, and yeah, it's a fun movie. The star of Scandal, isn't it? Chris, what's his name? Tony something. Tony. He's a great actor. He was in Gladiator with Tom Cruise.
Anyone, audience?
Tony.
Nope.
He's a great actor.
I read his name today when I saw it online.
It's Tony Goldwyn.
Okay.
And Tom Lennon is hysterical in it.
Tom Lennon
from Reno 911.
Yeah,
he's hysterical. And yeah, it's a cameo at best.
Here's another thing that came up on Amazon.
Yeah.
Why? I want you to tell me why a new copy of Uno.
No, there's no way a new copy of Uno came up on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
For how much?
$99.99.
Yeah. Good luck to that person getting that money. Good luck to them. If somebody wants to pay $100 for that,
is that like a really old first?
It's from 1999.
Really,
oddly enough,
yeah.
It was my first CD, and yeah, 1999. It's been out of print since probably 2003, and people keep wanting me to reissue it and put it, at least put it on iTunes. And as much as I understand that Chicago, the band, sounds different on their early CDs than they do on their new ones, I kind of don't want people to hear that. I don't like the way I performed back then.
Yeah.
I don't like the. I was still figuring out what I'm doing on stage, and so
you know, if you're ruining this chance of this guy making $99.
He ruined it by putting $99. But it's weird because it really is. As crazy as it sounds, because who cares about Jimmy Pardo CDs? It is really sought after, and people, somebody will pay that.
Probably
somebody will, because I've seen them go for $49, and I feel guilty when somebody's going to spend $50 to get my CD. It's like, geez, just send me $10 and I'll burn it for you. But I don't want to, and I think they know that. Yes, but I still feel like, God,
they're paying $50 to do you a favor, and I don't know how you should take this, but there was an autographed copy under the collectibles,
and that one went for $5.
It was $15 less listed. They're trying supposedly it has your autograph, and it's.
I'd be interested to see if it was really if I really signed it, or if they did
I don't know. That it's Amazon, so they don't have the pictures. If it was eBay, there'd be a picture.
You know, there's a great story of Peter Cetera from the aforementioned Chicago.
And my favorite song from Karate Kid 2, right?
Well, it better be the only song you know from Karate Kid 2. The rest of that soundtrack stinks. I think not all of it. There's some other good songs. I think Dennis DeYoung has a song on there. But
Little Rush action. Or Sticks, pardon me.
Actually, Dennis DeYoung solo, I think it's Call Me. Just call me. Just 7 numbers on the phone. I like Dennis DeYoung too, but what a horrible lyric that is. Peter Cetera went into one of those in Vegas, one of those souvenir shops, one of those collectible shops, and on the wall was a Peter Cetera signed bass or a guitar, and Peter Cetera went up to the counter and said, "Hey, is that real?" And they said, "Oh yeah, absolutely, we got the certificate off it." He goes, "Well, I'm Peter Cetera, and I can guarantee that's not real." And
oh no!
And he announced to the store, "I wouldn't buy anything here. I can't guarantee any of this is real. Any of these are real autographs."
Oh my god!
Which I think is great.
Yeah,
because why
what are the
wouldn't
odds?
you? Yeah, right.
What are the odds?
They lied right to him.
Before we came out tonight to watch the show, we were watching back to back episodes of Hoarders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you, if you were, is there anything that you collect?
Do I collect?
Your father-in-law was on Star Trek. Nothing?
No, I'm not a Star Trek guy.
No. But even, hey, this is going to be worth something someday. Does your wife have anything where she's
from
like,
Star Trek?
Here's my phaser from the episode 7.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe one day we'll inherit all that stuff, but no, we don't have any of that. I have some autographed baseballs. I have some autographed CDs and albums of rock and roll musicians. But
who are the baseball players?
Justin Verlander, Matt Kemp, Ernie Banks, Mickey Mantle.
How'd you get a Mickey Mantle?
My father-in-law gave it to me.
See?
He had 2 of them.
Ah.
So for my birthday or whatever, one year he gave me one. And that was awesome. Ernie Banks, Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron, Minnie Minoso, White Sox great.
Yeah.
Frank Thomas, Robin Ventura.
You have a Ryan Sandberg?
You know what? I don't like Ryan Sandberg.
No Rhino?
I'm not I like all baseball, but I'm not a huge Cub fan.
I know.
I like the Cubs.
Yeah.
I don't dislike it. But Ryan Sandberg always bored me. I understand he was a good player. I understand defensively he was terrific. I understand with the bat he was terrific. But there's something about Ryan Sandberg that bores the hell out of me. So I never liked Ryan Sandberg. I'm sure he's great. Good old number 23. I'm fine.
No.
Don't worry about me time-wise.
Shut up. You don't mean
seriously.
that. You don't mean that.
However, I mean, I don't want. It's supposed to be an hour. Whatever you need.
Oh, well, 45 minutes to an hour.
Whatever you need. If I as I leave here, I'm going to go to my hotel room and stare at the ceiling. So, I feel I don't want to keep anybody hostage.
What do you do normally? Like, if you were spending a week on the road somewhere, what do you do to fill your time?
Oh, I would put a gun in my mouth.
Do you still go into a lot of movies?
Yeah, that's probably what I would do. I mean, I don't do more than 2 days anymore.
Yeah.
So, tomorrow will be spent sleeping and getting refreshed. Although I have to do a 4-mile run tomorrow. Tomorrow's a 4-mile run.
Oh, yeah.
Training for a half marathon. So tomorrow's a 4-miler, and we'll see how that works in this breezy, frigid weather.
Yeah. Welcome to autumn.
So I didn't pack appropriately. I didn't do any research about this storm front coming. But yeah, usually I would. That's what I do on the road. I think every comic does it. What is that? What's going on? Are you being shot?
Did you see that?
I did. Is it 2007 already?
It's a laser.
He's using the laser. Did you ever see the clip of Paul Stanley of Kiss flipping out on the guy for using a laser?
No.
He stops the song and he calls, "You child! You're a little." I'm paraphrasing it. You might say, "Baby, you little." Yeah, and he just lashes out at this guy in the audience for using it, and it's gorgeous. YouTube it. And look for the Paul Stanley yelling at a guy because of a laser.
Is your son really listening to Kiss? He said that on stage tonight.
He's listening to Kiss. He knows all the. He knows who sings what.
Which one is he going as on Halloween this year?
I asked him. I said, "Do you want to go as Kiss for Halloween?" No way, Dad.
No.
Not even like, hey, maybe. It was no way, Dad. All right.
Cool enough to listen to, not cool enough to dress up as.
I guess so. Although he'll look at the covers, and then if it's a cover or a picture of them without the makeup, he'll go, "Yeah, give me the ones with makeup." He's very specific.
He's a traditionalist.
He's a traditionalist. He's a purist.
Purist. Kiss purist.
He did say the other day about a song. No, he always said, "I like the rockin' ones." I like the rock. I don't want to hear those ones like Beth. That's what he said.
He is cool.
Yeah. Hard Luck Woman's okay, Dad, because it starts to rock a little bit.
Dad, Beth is just a bad example of what they really do.
Yeah. I don't know why. Even I go, this was their biggest hit. I don't know why. Yeah. It doesn't rock. The songs Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley do, those rock, Dad. Yeah, okay. And again, he's for the listener that don't know, my son's 5.
Yeah, right.
So it's not like a 12-year-old talking like this. It's a 5-year-old that maybe shouldn't be listening to Kiss.
I think he's probably fine. True or false?
Okay, go.
The song of the summer is "Blurred Lines" by Robin Thicke.
You know what? I love it. So I'll say true. I don't know. I don't know what else is out there. I'll tell you what. If I hear that Mumford & Sons song one more time. Yeah. I will go on some sort of shooting spree. I'm tired. I don't know how to end that sentence. What's that called? What's that Mumford & Sons song called? I will wait. That's
Thank you. I will wait.
Oh, enough.
Have they been on Conan?
You know what? Here's the thing about Conan. This fascinates me about Conan. Our guy, Jim Pitt, who books the musicians before he was on Conan, he was at SNL booking the music acts. There'll be somebody on let's say Mumford & Sons, 2 years ago. And musical guest, Mumford & Sons. We got them. And because nobody knows who they are.
Oh, okay.
And the audience will go, okay, great, we'll applaud for that. Like a week later, they're famous. Fitz and the Tantrums were on.
Yeah.
I never heard of him. The next week they were famous. Like he knows exactly who's about to break. It's fascinating. Somebody was just on.
What was it?
What's Dragons? Imagine Dragons.
Yeah. Okay.
I had never heard of them.
Uh-huh.
They came out and go, they're pretty good. Good luck to these guys. The next day they were famous.
Yeah.
So he's got this really great eye about seeing these guys that are about to break.
Now, be honest. When he is this the same person that books the comics?
Nope.
Well? No, that's someone else.
No, that's J.P. Buck. That's J.P. Buck who does a great job.
Does he ever run them by you and you give him a little? Be honest.
Does he run by me who he's thinking about booking? Only because he also runs it by other producers. I'm not a producer, but that's part of the job. Is you get the lay of the land.
Bounce it off a few people.
Bounce it off.
Sure. Business talk.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I've just so we're clear, I've never poo-pooed anybody.
I'm sure.
I've given my opinions, but I've never said, I wouldn't book that guy.
Yeah.
That's not my place. I would never want to. I would never want to stop anybody from, achieving, some sort of landmark in their career.
Damn right. Did you? I was impressed because I didn't actually know how to pronounce it. Talib Kweli.
Oh boy, Talib
Hud.
Kweli. It was that Beautiful Lights, Pretty Lights featuring Talib Kweli. That was it.
Did someone write that out phonetically?
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I get an email, as does Andy. Andy and I both get an email every morning with the pronunciation of names. Because I have to announce them.
Oh, you announce them before everybody comes.
Yeah. And then he's got to do it on the announce.
Yeah.
So, yes, we for the name, not for everybody. Not for,
Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Now, is that a long A? Yeah.
Are you, we were just talking about music. I asked my buddy Bill here, who's with us tonight, that I work with on the morning show, and he suggested, he knows that he wanted to know what your favorite album is so far this year. What are you listening to?
Favorite album of this year?
Yeah. Are you listening to new stuff?
Boy, that's a tough call.
Really?
I just can't think of any for this year.
Anything new?
Have I bought anything this year?
No, I'm not.
I bought the John Fogerty. I'm enjoying the John Fogerty. I wrote a song for everybody. Jesus Christ.
While you're thinking of that, I had to, at the radio station, I had to dub in a commercial into our system the other day. One of our coworkers is doing a promotion where Creedence Clearwater Revisited is performing.
Yeah.
And they requested to have some CC Revisited music play in the background. That's sort of shocking when it sounds the same and then the guy starts singing.
And it's not.
And it's not who you just mentioned,
How much
John Fogerty.
Do they hate John Fogerty? That those guys would rather do rib fests and whatever than regroup with John Fogerty and sell out stadiums.
Yeah.
Because they would.
Yeah.
If they got back together, they would. I don't mean football stadiums, but they would sell out the sheds that the other Bon Jovi's doing.
Oh, sure, the hockey arenas.
The hockey arenas. They would sell those out in a heartbeat if they regrouped. How badly do they hate that guy that they won't do that? Like, even for one tour, go on one tour, make $1 gazillion, and be done with it. Because every jackass, especially now that he's kind of made this, he's become hip by doing this album. Everybody 45 and up would go see that show. We would all love to go see CCR regrouped, but it's not going to happen.
We just went and saw Bad Company.
With Paul Rogers?
Yes, sir.
And were they on their own, or were they with a package group? Were they with...
Yes, there was one other act.
Bad Company and... Who closed the show? The other band or Bad Company?
Bad Company. Good. I like...
Because when I saw Bad Company, they opened for Styx.
Nope.
Who opened for Bad Company? Give me a hint.
Yep, the hint is female.
Female? Not Pat Benatar.
Nope, but I get her confused with Pat Benatar all the time.
Sash Jordan. Nobody's going to get
know who that is.
You get this woman confused
with Pat Benatar.
Lita Ford?
No.
Why would you?
But she was in a band with Lita Ford.
Joan Jett.
That's right.
Joan Jett.
You've seen Joan Jett.
I've not, no.
Really?
No, I've never seen Joan Jett.
I tell you what.
Don't?
No, I'm actually...
You loved it?
Yeah. I think I like that old, kind of poppy punk stuff.
Yeah.
I think I still like that.
I'd like to see her get back with Lita. I'd like to see the Runaways go out and do a tour where they do some Runaways, they do some Joan Jett, they do some Lita Ford. That'd be a good show.
It would be a good show.
I'd enjoy that show.
You're wearing a Journey t-shirt right now.
I just smashed my nose on the microphone.
Careful.
Yes, I am wearing a Journey t-shirt.
Yeah. You had a... Remind me, you had some sort of connection. Good morning. Hey, how we doing?
I have a connection with
you. Had some sort of what am I imagining here? What am I thinking of?
Well, I met Steve Perry once.
No, with the Filipino singer thing.
Oh, that's my big claim to fame. Is I want to say season 2 of my podcast. I announced this on the air. I could not sleep one night, and I got caught in one of those YouTube loops where, one thing, you watch one clip, hey, we suggest this, and it broke all the way down to The Zoo was the name of the band. The Zoo, a bar band in the Philippines. The Zoo does, and it was Alone. That was the first song I heard, the Heart song Alone. And there was this Filipino guy singing Alone and sounding as good as Ann Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, who the F is this guy?
Yeah.
So then I clicked on all of them, and they all had like 78 views, 200 views at the most.
Yeah.
And I started looking, and then I hit the Journey ones. I came back and I was telling the guys on the podcast, I go, I ran across this band called The Zoo last night, some Filipino bar man. This guy's he's gonna be in Journey one day, and sure enough, he's in Journey. Like, I called it. I'm the guy, man.
It's amazing.
I called it. I'm the guy that's gonna get nothing because who cares that I'm the guy? But it was that's my big claim to fame that nobody knows about. Neil Schoen claims he discovered him. No, sir.
No, sir.
I did 1.5 years earlier. Yeah, that's my story.
Neil.
Yeah, screw you, weirdo.
Jimmy.
Go ruin another marriage.
Do you keep track of that soap opera with him and his ex? And
Did you ever see the video? Did you ever see the video for the Journey, their latest album, which I thought was a clunker? They just completely missed.
No.
They did a music video, where it's Neil and his new lady basically doing like From Here to Eternity on the beach. It's them rolling around, making out on the beach. It's so effing uncomfortable. Like, here's this 63-year-old guy, and they're on the beach, and like just trying to show, like, this is my lady, and it's just,
I still got it.
Yeah, it's awful. It's all so uncomfortable. Especially when you know the backstory that he broke up a marriage.
I'm not going to Google that.
I would, just so that you could have that in your eyeballs.
I'm not going to take up any more of your time here because it's super duper late, and you just looked at your phone and your eyes bugged out.
Remember, I'm on LA time, so it's midnight to me. I don't care.
No, I don't want to take up any more time. Let me just say, to embarrass you, that I could not have looked forward to this anymore.
Oh my God!
And that and I think I've told you this before. Your podcast is the one that got me in love with comedy podcasts. It's sort of, in a way, like why I'm sitting here right now talking to you, is because I fell in love with comedy podcasts, listened to yours, then that trickled down, listened to the other ones because of the people you had on your show, and now here I am. I'm 59, over a year doing this once a week at Acme. I love this club. I love comedy, and missed you when you were here last year, and now, this... So thank you for doing this.
It's my pleasure.
I mean, honestly,
nice words.
Yeah, I remember. I still have vivid memories of pushing around my firstborn, my oldest daughter, in a stroller, and I remember going on iTunes and just searching podcasts and just writing in comedy, and yours was the first one that came up. And that's
we were popular
really,
for a
that's
while.
how I ended up right here.
I'm glad
in a weird way, just searching comedy. Just needed something to listen to while I was pushing my infant daughter in a stroller.
So your daughter is 6?
Yeah. Oh, 7. She just turned 7.
Just turned 7.
Yeah. See? Look at that. So thank you.
It's my pleasure, and I'm very flattered by the way. Thank you.
And if you could give me a complimentary subscription. No, I can't. You're not laughing.
I can't do that. I'm not in charge of the finances. I'm not in charge of the money. I can't do that. I would, me, I would do it.
I will trade you 10 episodes of this free podcast. For
one season of my paid?
Wait a minute.
That sounds very fair.
I have 59 to give you. I will send you the individual links of every one, and then we'll work something out here.
I don't listen to podcasts, so else I'd make that. The other one I listen to is Phil Hendry. Do you listen to Phil Hendry's?
You have to pay for that one.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Although it is every Monday, it's a free one. Every Monday,
is it? I like Phil Hendry a lot.
Oh,
very talented.
Genius.
Yeah, genius.
I really should talk to him about getting paid for as much as I've been promoting him lately.
Oh, really?
I can't stop talking about it.
Have you talked to him on your?
Oh, he did my show, yeah.
Yeah,
You're behind.
No, I feel bad. I missed that one. Oops. One more question.
Oh, close it up.
Why aren't you on Twitter? Every comedian I have here each week is on Twitter. You're not on Twitter. Join the group. Be cool. Hey, just smoke this. You'll like it. It'll make you feel good.
Yeah, I'm going to avoid that like I did drugs, man. I keep my temple clean. I haven't. I reach out to people via my podcast, I guess, and I know that Twitter is a great thing, and if I was to post funny things, other people would retweet it, and I'd get 1 million. I get it. I get the whole concept. I get it.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
And if that makes me a stupid businessman, so be it. But I just don't care.
Yeah.
Until some network executive says, Jimmy, you got to get on Twitter, then I'll be on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to be working out. You co-hosted the Conan last week.
Goddamn right I did.
Things seem to be working out.
Right? Twitter didn't hold me back.
No. I do have one more question.
Second follow-up, go.
I have a second follow-up, sir.
Yes.
Are you auditioning for acting anymore?
No.
No.
No, the day I got this Conan gig back when he was the Tonight Show, I told my manager, we're done. I hate auditioning. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. There's Ty Burrell from Modern Family was on my podcast, and he said any actor that says they love auditioning is full of shit.
Yeah.
Because how can you? It's the worst. You go in, and it's the most stressful thing, and you're supposed to be as natural and comfortable as possible to get the role.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be this, but they don't let you be that. There's people sitting there with stoned faces, and you're in a cattle call of people outside, all looking at the script, and everybody's stressed out, and everybody's in their own world. Then you go in. Nothing about it is natural or comfortable, yet you're supposed to be natural and comfortable.
Yeah.
And I would stress out, and so no, I don't. The only one that I am willing to do, if they and they've called, the timing hasn't been right, is the TV show Good Luck Charlie. It's a kid show on Disney.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
It's great. It's really funny, and my son loves it. I laugh. It's really well done.
Yeah.
I would audition for that because I think it'd be great to be on a show and then have Oliver see his dad on a show that he loves.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
But that would be it.
Yeah. Sort of like I work on a radio show that my kids can't listen to and do a podcast that I don't let them listen to either.
They can't listen to this nonsense. You don't want them hearing Mumford & Sons.
Oh, no, not at all.
I can't wait. Awful. Shut it down.
And for for anyone listening to this that was at the show tonight, the 10:30 show Friday, mustard. There you have it. Jimmy's shaking his head right now.
That poor woman, it was. She didn't know she was stepping in a bear trap. You know what I mean? She may have really thought she was being helpful by pointing out what color my sweater was, but her voice just hit me so wrong that I wanted to stop it.
Yeah.
And then she got my wrath.
Yeah.
And maybe I may have gone 0 to 60.
That's okay
on her, but yeah.
It's a late show. You got to be prepared.
I was prepared. I'm a Boy Scout at all shows.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy, thank you.
My pleasure. Goodbye.